Welcome back, America. We're with Chairman James Comer of the House Oversight Committee, which I think is doing a fantastic job. Mr. Chairman, we have alleged 17 audio tapes that were covered up by the Department of Justice and FBI. They didn't want you to see that. You mentioned 20 shell corporations, the majority of which were used to launder money from the Communist Chinese and others to 9 members of the Biden family. These S corporations that Biden and the First Lady set up several years ago, where the Daily Mail now reports over $5 million haven't been accounted for in those accounts. We have millions and millions that have flowed into this family from foreign governments and state-run corporations. We have never seen anything like this. You're still fighting for information from the Department of Justice and the FBI. They have all this information. They must have more. They won't appoint a special counsel to investigate Joe Biden. What do you make of this, and what can you do next? I mean, you're not a criminal enforcement department.
Well, I think we've done as much as we could do with the obstacles we've had to overcome. No one thought I would get bank records. No one thought we would get access to the Treasury Cabinet's suspicious activity reports, but we have. We would not take no for an answer. We kept fighting, and we prevailed. When we got access to the suspicious activity reports, the mainstream media said there was nothing there. Well, this is what we found, Mark. We found that wires were made to Joe Biden's family while he was vice president from Romania and China through these shell companies to 9 different Biden family members. So we found a lot of things out when we had access to Treasury. Now we know about this Form 1023 that alleges bribery. What we know from our informants and from our sources in the FBI is that the FBI never investigated this. They never investigated this. Even though they will tell you, and you heard in the testimony when Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley grilled the deputy FBI director as to why they wouldn't release the Form 1023, they said, well, we don't want to endanger the life of our paid informant, who's one of our most trusted, highest paid, most credible FBI informants. So if this is the case, and the FBI informant's that credible, and the FBI informant tells the FBI that the Vice President of the United States took a bribe from a foreign national in exchange for foreign policy and foreign aid, then why did the FBI not investigate it? And that's a pattern you've seen with the IRS whistleblower. They said the IRS would not investigate anything other than tax evasion, basic tax evasion from Hunter Biden. They didn't want to investigate the shell companies. They didn't want to investigate the money laundering. And then we know the Department of Justice hasn't done anything. So there's a pattern here where the federal government, the deep state bureaucracies have turned a blind eye to Joe Biden. Our job in the House Oversight Committee is to follow the money. And we have more bank records coming in. We're going to start bringing in key figures in the Biden family influence peddling schemes for depositions. And I think we're on the right track, even though we're having to fight the FBI, fight the DOJ, fight the Democrats in Congress, and fight the mainstream media.
Those last 2 points are very important. You're having to fight the Democrat Party, which wants to cover up all this corruption. You're having to fight the media, which has done nothing to independently investigate these things other than some conservative outlets. You present the information. They don't take the information and run with it, as only the media can. Instead, they attack you. Also, this is the same Department of Justice, and Durham made the point that like a laser focuses on Donald Trump, even concocts information against Donald Trump, changes evidence to try and go after Donald Trump, works with the Democrat Party to go after Donald Trump, and then drops everything when it comes to Hillary Clinton, as they're dropping everything when it comes to the Bidens. This oversight responsibility that you and Jim Jordan and others have, and you're not getting a hell of a lot from the Senate, other than a few senators like Johnson and Grassley. But the fact of the matter is, this oversight responsibility is also a legislative responsibility. These institutions have to be changed. These institutions have to lose resources. These institutions have to stop spying on Americans. These institutions have to stop trying to destroy Republican candidates, Republican elections, and a former Republican president. This is just beyond belief. Are you folks thinking about these things?
Absolutely. I think about it every day. I think about it more since I've started trying to deal with Christopher Wray and the FBI bureaucracy. Look, this is something the Republicans are going to have to stick together on. And you'll see an overwhelming majority of Republicans in the House do this. We're going to have Republicans in the Senate stand with us. We not only are going to have to reform the FBI, but we're going to also have to demand that there be new leadership in the FBI. There's not a lot we can do with Merrick Garland right now, but we can cut their budgets. And we can use that Holman rule to try to get rid of deep state bureaucrats that are consistently problems with respect to getting the transparent truth out there as to public corruption and political wrongdoing among liberals and among Democrats. So I'm all in. I agree with you 100%. The first thing that I said when I spoke to the Republican Study Committee yesterday, gave them an update on the investigation, I said, we have to stick together to defund this FBI building. We cannot reward the FBI with a brand new state-of-the-art fine building that's bigger than the Pentagon. This agency needs to be reformed. We need to send a message, and we're going to have to do it with the power of the purse. So hopefully and surely to God, the Republicans can stick together on that this September.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.